Welcome back to OnTarget with Archer. I'm Stacy Bresler, managing partner here at Archer Energy Solutions. And last week, we talked about the trade-offs that come with cybersecurity. And we talked about the goal isn't to eliminate every risk. It's to make thoughtful decisions that improve security without supporting non-safe situations or unreliable operations. This week, I want to talk about a different kind of risk, and that is the risk of doing nada, doing nothing. Now, to be fair, most organizations, they don't wake up in the morning and decide to ignore cybersecurity. We know for a fact that projects get delayed for very good reasons. Budgets get tighter, resources get stretched, and operational priorities, they tend to shift. Leadership has to make difficult choices about where to spend time and money, and that is just a fact. That's a reality. But sometimes those short-term decisions, they quietly become long-term risks. I've heard the same phrases countless times over the years. We'll get to it next quarter, then next quarter becomes next year. And before anyone realizes it, what started as a temporary delay has become the way the organization operates. Maybe it's replacing unsupported equipment. Maybe it's improving remote access. Or maybe it's just cleaning up those user accounts. Or perhaps that segmentation project on the network that's grown well beyond its original design. None of those issues usually create an immediate crisis. Instead, they create something that's much harder to recognize. And we call that accumulated risk. Think of it like maintaining your home. If you have a small roof leak and decide to wait a month before fixing it, nothing may happen right away. But over time, water tends to find its way into places you can't see. The damage spreads quietly until one day that repair is gigantic and much more expensive, of course, than it needed to be. Cybersecurity works exactly the same way. Small decisions have a way of accumulating. One exception becomes another. Temporary access becomes permanent. Legacy systems remain in service, or documentation falls behind. Technical debt grows. And eventually, organizations find themselves spending far more time responding to problems than preventing them. We call those the fire drills. The most mature organizations I've worked with, they don't try to solve everything at once. They simply refuse to let important risks sit untouched indefinitely. They make steady progress. They prioritize their risks. They revisit earlier decisions on an ongoing basis, and they understand that reducing risk is a continuous process, not a one-time project. One of the questions I like to ask leadership teams is this. Get ready for this. If we looked back 2 years from today, what cybersecurity decision would we wish we had made sooner? To me, that's a very interesting question because most organizations already know where some of the biggest risks are, where the skeletons are lying. The challenge usually isn't awareness. It's deciding to act before the circumstances force the decision. Because eventually, every organization pays for cybersecurity. The only question is whether you pay through planned investment or you planned or pay through unplanned consequences, and that's a huge deal. That's it for this episode of On Target with Archer. I'm Stacy Bresler. Until next time, remember, the most expensive cybersecurity decision is often the one that's postponed until it becomes unavoidable. See you later.
Don't miss out on any of our insightful content. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay informed whenever we release new videos. For top-tier security solutions, Archer is your trusted partner. Explore our offerings at archerint.com and get in touch via email or phone to fortify your company's defenses. Your questions drive our content. Leave them in the comments below and join us every Monday for a fresh episode of On Target with Archer.